let's move on. Kill la Kill. Now, this is made by the studio that made Gurren Lagann.
And you can tell by the art style.
You can tell by the art style and the style of humor. All right, so here's a summary of this crazy anime. So there's some school uniforms that give superpowers. This girl has half a pair of scissors, which just so happens to be the only thing that can cut these uniforms. The scissors also happen to be the murder weapon of her father's murder. So the girl's on a quest to find the owner of the other half. The girl gets beat up by an underling of the class president.
Who's in charge of the city that she's been transferred to.
Or where she goes, anyway.
Yeah.
The girl finds some talking armor. The girl fights the underling again, wins, and calls out the class president asking if she's the owner of the other half of the scissors. It's basically really straightforward summary of the first episode.
Now, the second episode is out, and I think we've both seen it.
Yeah, so basically how this is going to go down is she's going to have to go up against every president of every club in this high school.
And then
beat them at their own game.
Yeah.
But,
I don't know.
man.
I want to go back, though, to when she gets the
that was the most
armor,
uncomfortable part of the entire episode.
Technically, it's a uniform. It's a version of the uniforms that they have, but basically, if you break it down to the scene that happens when she gets it,
it basically molests her.
Yeah, she got into a fight and she was bleeding, and the uniform wants her blood and basically rapes her to make her put it on her. In the best word.
Oh man, I think that was supposed to be funny. I didn't find it funny. I found it extremely uncomfortable.
I didn't necessarily find it funny, but I mean, I've watched more, let's be honest, Watson, I've watched more anime than you have.
It's true.
And I've seen a lot more things. Recently I made you watch Fooly Cooly. I mean, we can start with that for example.
But that show is like Adventure Time times 3, and it's hilarious. However perverted it may be. But this just seemed really unnecessary.
Yeah, I mean, I understand what you're talking about, but it's interesting.
The action is excellent, though.
Yeah, the action and the animation of the fighting scenes are really, really good. Really, they're really straightforward. They're not very all right, so the first okay, we'll go back to the uniforms that the students have. The normal students have normal uniforms, and then the class president deviates out these super uniforms, which are called Goku uniforms, which are determined by stars. There's the 1 star.
References.
There's the 1 star, which is okay.
2 star.
2 star and 3 star. 2 stars.
The class president doesn't wear one for some reason.
Yeah, the class president doesn't wear one.
And somehow still maintains control over everything.
Yeah.
I don't get that. I hope that's going to be explained.
I'll dip into the second episode a little bit and say that she said something along the lines of the sword that she has allows her not to need one, or something along those lines. She said it was towards the end of the episode.
It still doesn't make sense yet. It doesn't make sense yet.
But in the second episode, first episode she fights a it's the boxing club.
Yeah.
President. Captain.
Oh, well. Yeah.
It's a boxing club captain, and he's a 2 star. Yeah. Meaning he's decent.
Well, all the presidents are 2
captains.
Stars. All the captains are 2 stars.
Are 2 stars, and he's decently strong, and he has these giant boxing glove things that turn to giant spikes. But their fight is very interesting, and the choreograph between the action and how the fight goes down isn't terribly cluttered, except for some of the moves that he uses.
It's very red. This anime is very, very red.
Yeah, there's a lot of red in it. Although, Gurren Lagann's kind of the same too.
Well, I've only seen the first episode of Gurren Lagann. You know that.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of red's a strong color, I think, with them, and in general, on the color schemes, red's a brighter color, I guess. I mean,
this anime also has not only just that really awkward scene with the armor, but this anime has a whole bunch of being naked is funny humor, and being extremely perverted and thinking about ridiculous things related to sex is hilarious.
But if we go back to the fact that they made Gurren Lagann, and if you've seen more of that, that'd make more sense.
Probably. I don't think this is going to be as popular as Gurren Lagann.
I think all the people that loved Gurren Lagann will probably watch it and stick with it, but I agree. I don't think it'll be as popular.
Her classmate, though, hilarious. Super hyperactive. But she's also Luffy. No, she's Zoro, that she'll fall asleep at any given moment.
That was the best part. Like, their first class that they have, they all sit down after she introduces herself. It's like, hi, I'm your neighbor. You can sit next to me. And the teacher's like, all right, class starts. And she
eats her lunch and goes to sleep.
Yeah, instantly she just pulls out her lunch, like, behind her book so the teacher can't see. She starts eating and she's like, it's done. And, like, her head hits the table and she's asleep. And, like, you see the main character.
It happens in, like, 5 seconds, too.
Yeah, you see the main character stop and just stare at her in surprise of that. That's what happened.
Yeah. It's hard for me to recommend this one, but it's not bad enough. I mean, it's still decent. It's just some of the humor is not my taste particularly.
In the end, knowing how much, like, seeing most of Gurren Lagann, because I still haven't finished it because I've been lazy. I have a feeling that it will go in a pretty good way, and I assume if the story is any similar to Gurren Lagann, they'll pick up some kind of my drill is the drill that Peter's to heaven kind of thing, where it's like there's some sort of moral behind it. But I mean,
there's not really that character there.
No, but I have a feeling eventually
that kind of character who just like makes up all his own catchphrases and everything.
I feel it's somewhere in there we're going to get some kind of moral and like, or at least that's kind of what I'm hoping for. But in the end, seeing Gurren Lagann, some of the other stuff that they've done, I'd give it a watch, but I wouldn't necessarily recommend it.
Yeah. If you liked Gurren Lagann, you're gonna like this. If you've never seen Gurren Lagann,
go watch Gurren Lagann.
Go watch the first episode of Gurren Lagann, see if you think it's funny or not, and then if you do, finish that and then watch this, or watch this at the same time. I can't really recommend it to anyone who doesn't like Gurren Lagann, but yeah, that's just me. Alright guys, that was our look at one of the animes in this extensive list of shows that we got for you. Be sure to check back in, see what else we're going to be covering.
And again, I'm Leo.
I'm Watson.
And we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.